This is on the Medikarta system in Carnatic music. You can take this like them to be kind of continuation to the previous one. But yeah, if you didn't attend the last one, also it's okay. You'll still be able to get most of it. So let me share my screen now. Yeah. So is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Right. So. Uh, So basically, as I said, this is about the Melakarta system in Carnatic music, which is a unique way of classifying ragas, and it becomes a fun a way of classifying ragas in a more systematic manner than whatever was discussed in the last lecture demonstration. So in the last lecture demonstration, Rohan talked about classifying ragas based on the number of swaras in the arohana, avrohana, the time of the day in which they are sung, and whether they are masculine or feminine, etc. And these like he focused on Hindustani classical music, and these types of classification also exist in Carnatic music, but soon these ways of classifying ragas became less significant. Okay, so why is that so? So the thing is, there came a very systematic classification in Carnatic music called the Medakarta system. I mean, it is so systematic that you can literally locate a raga based on its swaras and all that, and that is the reason it became more significant. And so Carnatic music has a specific way of classifying ragas, that is classifying ragas into Janaka and Janya ragas. As the name suggests, Janaka means the parent raga, and Janya refers to the derived raga. So basically, you have a set of fundamental ragas called Janaka ragas. You derive many Janya ragas out of them. So now these Janaka ragas are also called Medakarta ragas. So Medakarta literally means make scales. Meda means scales, Karta means to make. So basically, since you make scales out of it, you make different ragas out of it, and they are kind of the generating ragas. You call it the Medakarta ragas. And so, how did this system come about? So, somewhere in the mid 17th century, there was this musicologist named Venkata Makhi, and in his work, the Chaturdandi Prakashika, he mentioned this particular system, and this system mentioned in the Chaturdandi Prakashika was taken to be the basis for the third system in Hindustani classical music. I think Rohan talked about the third system in the last lecture. So the third system was proposed by Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande, and it was based on the Melakarta system. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is a very systematic way of classifying ragas. So, the other ways of classifying ragas became less significant, and the introduction of this system in Carnatic music gave the basic idea of the structure of a raga to the singers and all that. So let us see the structure of the Medakarta system. There are 72 Medakarta ragas, right? So first of all, let us see what is this Medakarta raga, the other features of a Medakarta raga. So now Rohan talked about something called Sampurna raga last week. So Sampurna raga means a raga which has all the swaras in it, like Sari, Gama, Padani, in both its Arohana and Avarohana in order, without any changes in order. The same Sari, Gama, Padani order is maintained in Arohana and Avarohana. Such a raga is called Sampurna raga, and every Medakarta raga is a Sampurna raga, and you call it Sampurna, which means it's Sampurna in the Arohana, Sampurna in the Avarohana. In ascending and descending, both it is Sampurna, complete. Okay, so so basically this serves as the Medakarta system refers to the systematic arrangement of all these Medakarta ragas, such that each raga has a unique number associated to it, and so we have like a map of ragas, a map of fundamental ragas, right? So let us look into how these ragas are arranged. So I said that this is a map of ragas, which means given the serial number of the raga, I can find out the swaras in the raga, and at the same time, given the swaras in the raga, I can say what serial number it is in the 72 ragas list. So how are these arranged? So how do you arrange all this? So they are arranged systematically based on the swaras, the differing swaras in each raga. So we know that every Sampurna raga has Sarigama Padani. Yeah, 1 minute. So is this pointer visible? So we have Sarigama Padani here. So these are the seven basic swaras which every Sampurna Raga has. Out of this, Sa and Pa, okay, Sa and Pa don't have any variations. In the sense, they don't have types in it. So they are called Prakriti Swaras. And one more reason why they are called Prakriti Swaras is that they are kind of natural swaras, and the other swaras are positioned relative to Sa and Pa. In case there are any instrumentalists, Carnatic instrumentalists here, you will know in more in detail as to why Sa and Pa are called the Prakriti Swaras, because the strings of the violin. I play violin, so the violin strings are arranged such that one string plays only Sa without keeping your finger on it or something. So the default note played by each string is Sa and then Pa. So you just need to place your finger at the right position to get the other swaras, the, ni, and re, ga, ma. So that is why these two are called the Prakriti swaras. And then you have the re, ga, ma, da, ni. These have types in them. So you have variations in re, variations in ga, ma, da, and ni. So they are called Vikruti swaras. Right. So, are you guys clear till now to what this Melakarta system is? What is this Melakarta raga and the kind of swaras in each Melakarta raga? Hello.
Yeah, yeah. At least
Right.
I'm clear. Yeah, you
It
can go
makes
on.
sense, right? So, yeah. If it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, kindly stop me, guys, because this is going to be interesting. You're going to love it. I mean it. So, if it's fine, then I'll go move on to the next slide. So, I told that sa pa don't have variations and re ga da ni have variations including ma. So what are these variations? So you have three variations in re ga da ni and two variations in ma. Now out of this, these three variations have specific names, proper Sanskrit names. Okay, so R and D are prefixed with you have three varieties of Re. Shuddha Re, Chaturshruti Re, and Shashruti Re. Re is just a short form. The actual name is Rishabha. Okay, each of the swaras has a proper full name, but for convenience, we'll be calling it as Sarigama Padani. The like you have Sa is Shadja, Re is Rishabha, G is Gandhara, Ma is Madhyama, P is Panchama, D is Daivata, and Ni is Nishada. But please don't care about that now, guys. Our focus is on the arrangement of these ragas. So you have three types in Re and Da, and they are prefixed with this. So each type is called Shuddha Rishabha, Chatushruti Rishabha, and Shashruti Rishabha. Same case with the. So coming to Ga, you have again three varieties, but they're named differently. And you see, I have assigned some numbers in the brackets. I request you to focus on the numbers for this session, because if any of you are beginners, it will be very difficult for you to remember these names. So just focus on the types. So three types means R1, R2, R3, and three types of Da means D1, D2, D3. Similarly, with Ga, you have three, Ni, you have three, Ma, you have two, right? I'm not going into the details of these names because they'll always be available. You look up any script and you'll see them. So I'll just go through the names of these ragas.
Hello, Raghavendra. I think we lost your connection for a little while.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, yeah. Now you're audible.
Okay, wait. Where did you lose my connection? What was I telling at that time?
Having two types of
Yeah, so you're talking. Yeah, you were talking about all the different types of ragas. So you just mentioned the three types of re and the. After that, we lost your connection.
Right, right. So same slide, right? So 1 minute. I think I need to. Uh, I'll do one thing. I'll turn off my camera. I think that's creating the issue. My net is a bit weak. Yeah. Yep. So now the slides are visible, right?
Yeah, yeah, they're visible.
Yeah. So the three types in Re and Da are clear. Similarly, we have three types in Ga, three types in Ni, and two types in Ma. So here you see each type is prefixed with a specific name, right? Like you have the three types of Re means Shuddha Rishabha, Chatushruti Rishabha, and Shashruti Rishabha. And Rishabha means re, and as I mentioned, I don't know if I was audible at that time. So you have re, Sarigama, Padani are just short forms. They have proper full names. Okay, Sa is Shadjari, is Rishabha, Jinga is Gandhara, and so on. But I will not be focusing on all that here. Similarly, these names also, the types, the names given to each type, that also you guys didn't focus on that. Just remember it as re1, re2, re3, r1, r2, r3, or d1, d2, d3, and something like that, because that's going to be the focus of this like them, not the names. So is it clear till here, guys, the various types of swaras and all?
Yes, yes, yeah, clear.
Yeah, so they differ in frequencies basically. In case you guys didn't learn Carnatic music, it's okay. They differ in the pitch basically. So now coming to now, this is the basis on which the Medakata system is, on which the Medakata system is founded on. So based on the differences in these swaras only, you generate different ragas. So let us look into how it is organized. All these, I said there are 72 ragas. So how are these organized? Let us look into that soon. So these 72 fundamental ragas are based on the types of swaras, as I said, and they are divided into 12 equal parts of 6 ragas each. Okay, each group of 6 ragas is called a chakra. So you have 12 chakras, right? So now let us see how do you locate a raga based on the swaras in it. So we have so I mentioned that there are two types in Ma, right? Two variations in Ma. So what you do is all ragas with M1 in it are the first 36 ragas, and the next 36 ragas are that with M2. That is what I mentioned here. The first 36 ragas, or the first 6 chakras, have M1 in them, and the next 36 ragas have M2 in them, right? So now if I have to index each raga uniquely, I need to fix the other swaras also. So what you do is you take, now I said there are six chakras with M1, 6 chakras with M2. So each chakra has R and G fixed, right? Re and Ga are fixed. Okay. So basically, the first chakra has R1, G1. The next chakra has R1, G2, and so on. You have basically all the possible combinations, right? So in this way, you fix Re and Ga for different chakras, and you might observe these names here. These names are no okay. One more question, guys. So I said there are 12 chakras, but I have mentioned only 6 here. So you might ask why. So that's because the remaining 6 are formed by changing the ma associated with it. With each of these combinations, if I have M1, I get the first 6 chakras. If I replace M1 with M2, I get the next 6 chakras. So I have 6 plus 6, 12 chakras. And you see, I have typed two names here within brackets. The first name corresponds to the chakra name in the when the ma is M1, the first ma, Shuddha Madhyama, and when it is Prati Madhyama or M2, this is the name, right? So I think that should make sense, guys. Does it make sense till now as to how we fix the swaras?
Yeah, yeah, cool. You can continue.
Right. So you have observed that there are two variations in Ma, three variations in Re and Ga. Now what I have done is, based on Ma, I have split the 72 ragas into one half, two halves basically, and in each half I am having many chakras where Re and Ga are fixed. Now what remains to be fixed, guys? Da and Ni, right? So by varying Da and Ni, I can easily vary the ragas within a chakra. So basically one chakra has 6 ragas, right? So in those 6 ragas, Re and Ga are of the same type, and Da and Ni will be varying. And Da and Ni will also be varied in an order similar to Re and Ga. How we varied Re and Ga for chakras, the same way we'll be varying Da and Ni within a chakra for the different ragas, right? So we have D1 N1, D1 N2, and so on. So we have 6 ragas in that way, right? So now you get the structure, right, guys? The uh, the structure of the ragas here.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, to sum up, it's like you have 7 swaras. You start by fixing ma first. So two halves due to that. The first 36 have M1, next 36 have M2. Now in each of these halves, you split it into 6 chakras each based on the combination of Re and Ga. That is like this. So this is the first chakra, second chakra, and so on. Similarly, you repeat it for M2. In that way, you generate it. Now within each chakra, to vary the ragas, you change this. That's all, right? And all this is in the same order, guys. So let's look into an example to get a better understanding of this.
I have one small question.
Yep.
So you have given like six combinations here, right? D1, N1, D2, N2. So, but
Yes.
there are some combinations missing, like D2, N1, D3,
Yes.
N1, D3,
Yeah,
N2.
I'll come to that.
Are those
I'll come
possible?
to that. That's a good question. So you might say that there are three variations is you are supposed to have 9 combinations. Why are there six? That's your question.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is because there are some exceptions. I was about to say that. So the thing is, da always has a lesser pitch than ni. That's the rule of thumb in Carnatic music, obviously. Now, uh, D1, sorry, D2 and N1. Okay, D2 and N1 are the same pitch. Okay, so if I have a raga with D2 and N1 in it, it won't make sense, right? I'm singing Saregama Padani, the and ni have the same pitch. Will such a raga make sense? No, right? You're supposed to have the with a lower pitch than ni. That is the reason you will eliminate the combination D, D2 N1. Similarly, the combination D3 N2, D3 and N2 are again of the same pitch. So if I sing D3 N2 just like that, Saregama Padani when I sing, they'll have the same pitch, right? It doesn't make sense. So again, you eliminate that combination. Same case with Re and Ga. You're supposed to have, ideally speaking, you need 9 combinations here also. Here also, what happens is G2 and R3 are the same in pitch. Same with G1 and R2. So it doesn't make sense. That is why you will eliminate those possibilities, and you end up with only 6 combinations. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, okay, yeah, it answers it. Thanks.
Right. So this is how you vary the ragas and all. So now let's look at a small example to see how we use this systematic arrangement to locate a raga. So suppose I have a raga like this. I mean, people who learn Carnatic will be able to tell the name of the raga the moment they look at this. But let us forget all that and kind of look at the what could be its serial number out of these 72 ragas. So first thing we observe is it is M1, right? So it has to lie in the first half. First half means in the first 36 ragas, right? So in the first 36 ragas, we should next look at which chakra. So we should look at the combination of Re and Ga. It is R2G3. Now the R2G3 combination comes in the fifth chakra, right? Going by this. Now fifth chakra out of the first 36 ragas means what should be the serial number where it ends? Like first chakra ends at serial number 6, second at 12, multiples of 6 basically. So the fifth chakra should end at serial number 30. Is that clear, guys? Till there, the fifth chakra should end at serial number 30. So now we know, we have located the chakra. Now we should particularly look at the raga. To locate the raga, we have to vary D and N. So based on that, we have okay. So I said this has D2 N3. So D2 N3 is the second last raga in a chakra. Is that clear, guys? From this combination of D1 and D and N. So D2 N3 is the second last raga in that chakra, right? So I said the last raga is 30, right? The chakra ends at 30. So this is the second last one, means this is serial number 29. That's how you come to this. So 29 is Shankarabharana raga, or formally called Dhira Shankarabharana. Like, is this clear, guys? Like, given the swaras, how do you locate the serial number of the raga?
Yeah, it's clear.
Right. So this is about locating this one. That is why I initially said it is like a map of the fundamental ragas. You give us the swara, I can get you the number. Now let's try it the other way around. Given the number, get the swaras. That's the next thing we'll do. So Medakarta number 8. So again, people who learn Carnatic can directly tell what this is. But let us again go by this system. So 8 is less than 36. It should belong to the first half, right? So it has M1 in it. We have fixed ma. Now after fixing ma, we have you know uh, re and ga. We should fix it, right? So where should it lie? First chakra ends at 6, second at 12, so it should lie between 7 and 12, right? The serial number. I mean 7 and 12 it lies, so it should have the re and ga corresponding to the second chakra. We go back to this and see the second chakra has R1 G2 in it, right? So this raga also has R1 G2 in it. So we have figured out R, G and M, R1 G2 M1. That is the combination. So after figuring this out, we move on now. Riga ma are over. We go to da and ni. Sa pa have no variations. They are Prakruteswara, as I mentioned earlier. So to do this for no, sorry, the wrong slide. Sorry. Yeah. So coming to this, so R1 G2 is done. Now we need to find what is the combination of da and ni. So this is number 8, right? So the second chakra begins from 7, and which means this is the second raga in the second chakra. Do you agree with that, guys? Like second chakra is 7 to 12. Naturally, this is number 8, means it has to be the second raga in the chakra. So the second raga in the chakra has what combination of D and N? It has D1 and 2. So this is, so D1 and D and N are also figured out. So we have Sa, R1, G2, M1, P, D1, N2, S. This is called Hanuman Todi or simply Todi. Like this is clear, guys, till now. Like how you get the swaras from the number,
Yeah, it's clear.
right? So let's do a small demo, guys. Can someone just randomly tell me a number between 1 and 72? We can find out the swaras, and we can get a better idea of this.
45.
45, fine. So 45 is greater than 36. It lies in the second half. Okay. So we have, is this somewhat clear whatever I'm writing? I mean, I'm not too good at writing with the mouse, but yeah. We have Saregama, Pa, Da, and Ni. Now 45 was the number given, right? 45 is greater than 36. So it should lie in the second half. Second half has Ma 2 in it. So M2, we figured that out. Now we should see which chakra it lies in. So the second half begins at number 37, right? Up to serial number 36, it is the ragas with M1. So from 37, you have the ragas start with M2, right? So you kind of, so 37 to 42 is one chakra. Then you have till 48, the second chakra, and till 54, the third chakra. So they should lie this is less than 48, so it should lie in the second chakra in this half. Second chakra has the combination, R1 G2, right? We saw that earlier. Like if you do some practice, you can get it by memory, it's okay, but otherwise you can refer to this. It's R1 G2 here, right? You see this. So then, so this is done. Now we should go to da and ni. So 45, so Rigama is over. Da and Ni, so I said that this chakra begins at 43 and ends at 48, right? The six chakras are 43 to, six ragas are 43 to 48. 43 has D1N1, 44 has D1N2, 45 has D1N3. So D1N3. So this is your raga. So basically, this is how the raga goes. Is it audible? The music audio?
Yeah, it's audible.
Yeah,
That
this is how
is
the raga goes. So this, I'm not sure about the name of this raga. This is a very rare raga, but yeah, this is what serial number 45 is. And so I think you will now be able to appreciate this, guys. So Niranjan, I think Niranjan, right? I think he told the number. So Niranjan just gave me the number 45, and I am able to locate the raga and also play it for you guys. That is the power of that is the that is how systematic this classification is. So does that make sense, guys, till here? Like how we can play around with this classification?
Yeah, makes sense. The system's really nice.
Right. We'll go on to the next thing. So let us ask a question to ourselves. We mapped the raga's name to its a number to the swaras. Right. Given the number, we found the swaras. Now, given the name, can we find the number? So this is one interesting thing. The answer is yes. We use something called the Katapayadi Sutra or the Katapayadi Sankhya. This is an ancient Indian system for mapping consonants to numbers. Okay, given a word, I can map it to a unique number. This was used in ancient and medieval Indian texts. Wherever you needed to use any form of indexing, this system was used. So this is essentially a hashing system. Like people from CSE or IT branch in DSA would have learned this hash table concept. This is nothing but a hash table from ancient India. That's all. Okay, so basically, you will be mapping the digits to names to digits. That is how the Medakata system works. But you might be knowing hashing is not an invertible process. So you can only map a name to number, but not the other way around. Given the number, you can't generate the name of the raga out of it. That's the only difficulty. So the first two components, the first two consonants of the name of the raga map to the Medakarta number of the raga. As simple as that. And just like any other ancient Indian text, even the Medakata system was designed as per the Katapayadi Sutra. That is the main feature of this. So you look at this, it's like, let's do a small example here. This is how the table looks, okay? So you have, 1 minute. So you have the digits here and the various consonants of the Devanagari alphabet here. So the Devanagari alphabet is followed by Hindi, Sanskrit, Kannada, Malayalam, and Telugu. You won't find Tamil here because Tamil has a totally different system. Tamil doesn't follow this kind of system. Okay, the alphabets of Tamil are totally different and their structure itself is different, so you can't find it here. But yeah, the rest of the languages you can find out. So respectively they are Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, and Malayalam. So based on this, now how do I use this for finding the number of a raga from its name? So let us take the example of this, Maya Malava Gauda. Okay, Maya Malava Gauda is the most fundamental raga taught to anyone who is learning Carnatic music. So what we do is we take the first two consonants, and the first consonant maps to the units place of the Medakata raga number, and the next consonant maps to the 10th place. So here you see, let us look at this Maya Malagala. Ma, right? Ma comes here, which maps to 5. And Ya is here, which maps to 1. So this is the units place. This is the tens place. So 15 is the serial number of Maya Malagoda. You can verify it. 15 is the serial number. It's a fact. Similarly, you have Kamavardhini. It is the 51st number Medakata raga. So you should get 51 when you do it, right? So Ka is here. 1 is going to be the units place. Ma is, where is that? Yeah, Ma is here. So 5, 51. Similarly, I have Dhira Shankarabharana. So Dhira, right? So Dha and Ra are the consonants we should look for, right? So we go to Dha. Where is Dha? So Dha here. Maps to 9. So that's going to be the units place. And Ra is here. That maps to 2. So 2 is in the 10th place. We saw earlier 29 is Dhira Shankarabharana. So this is one more amazing feature of this classification, guys. It's based on the Katapayadi Sutra. So given the name, you can get the number out of it. Yes, there are some exceptions to the Katapayadi Sutra, but they generally don't matter when you classify most of the ragas. You can look up those exceptions. I'll not be detailing them here. It will take too much time in that case. But yes, so this is what the Katapayadi Sutra is, and this is what the Medakata system is. So to sum up, this is a systematic arrangement of the fundamental ragas in Carnatic music. Fundamental in the sense, the Janaka ragas, from which you can generate all the other ragas. So if you include even the Janya ragas, there are more than 30,000 ragas in Carnatic music. Okay, so that is how it works. And you can, given the swaras, you can locate the raga, and given the location, you can get the swaras. And at the same time, given the name, you can find out where it is located. So this is all about it, guys. Thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and we can even discuss something related to this if you want to. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Right. So if you have any questions, you can